I hope you have unlimited text messaging. By Ms. Carr. Chapter 13. Conversation 12. Please don't get arrested. Red phone. Cuddle Bunny, you'll be happy to know I got out of the Pentagon without getting arrested. Blue phone. How many admirals did you tell to go screw themselves? Red phone. You said screw. I'm so proud of you. Blue phone. I'm glaring at the phone right now wishing it was you. Red phone. That's so sweet. Cuddle Bunny. Blue phone. What happened? Red phone. They wanted weapons again. I told them no. They wanted the Iron Man armor. I told them hell no. Then I reminded them that I'm completely open to being Secretary of Defense. At least with me, they wouldn't have to worry about the boss turning out to be Hydra. Blue phone. Did you actually say that? Red phone. Of course I did. Then I offered our new line of tactical gear and the new Stark phones with batteries that last for 18 months without a charge and can withstand the force of a tank. They are still upset about the lack of weapons, but who wouldn't want a phone that doesn't need to be charged for a year and a half? All in all, it was a somewhat productive trip. Blue phone. Are you still in DC? Red phone. Yes, for a couple more days anyway. I'm giving the decorators time to remodel. Since Pepper is gone from my personal life for good, it was time to remove her from my personal space. If Friday contacts you with color swatches, just humor her. Blue phone. Sure. Red phone. I also still have meetings with DOE and ATCU tomorrow. I'm still surprised a congressional hearing is not on the docket. Blue phone. Yet. Red phone. Don't jinx me! Blue phone. I'm just being realistic. Red phone. If I end up before Congress next week, I'm going to blame you. Blue phone. Why is that? Red phone. So in addition to trying to get me to violate my conscience and make weapons again, the Secretary of Defense also tried to get me to tell them where you are. Actually, I think they want you more than the armor. Blue phone. Why? Red phone. Because the symbol of America that the DoD paid for is MIA after refusing to go along with the Accords. That makes them look bad. And they hate that. They want answers, and I'm not sure Congress is going to be pacified with a phone that could go a year and a half without being charged. Blue phone. You're not going to hand me over to the DoD? Red phone. Or Congress, or the ATCU. Friday has been helping me practice my answer. I have no idea where Steve Rogers is, but if you want to anoint a new person as your propaganda tool, you're going to have to pry that shield out of my cold, dead hands. Blue phone. Please stop antagonizing people who probably already want to kill you! Wait, you didn't actually say that to anyone at the DoD? Red phone. Of course not. The DoD actually respects your autonomy enough not to propose something like that, and they like my gadgets, even if I won't do weapons. However, Congress is Congress. Blue phone. And I'm sure there are members of Congress that still want to kill you, even if Senator Stern is gone. Half of them still want your tech. Red phone. All of them still want my tech, especially the one that showed up at the DoD yesterday. Although, if I die, everything just goes to Pepper and Rhodey, and neither one of them is going to roll over. I probably need to change that. Do you think Laura would be a good custodian of the armor? Blue phone. Considering all the good things that Clint says about her? Yes. Red phone. I'll make an appointment with the lawyers when I get back to New York, but I'm not really in a hurry to get back. Blue phone. Because of the renovations? Red phone. Honestly, I prefer being at the DC house right now, despite the close proximity to politicians that hate me. Blue phone. Why? Red phone. In DC, Pepper is not there to remind me that we're just business partners now. I'm not sure if the new paint is really going to help. Rhodey is not here in DC to remind me that my stupidity almost got him killed. Vision isn't there to remind me of the Ultron fuck-up, or for me to see him pine over Wanda. Blue phone. He's pining over her. Red phone. Ridiculously so. Is it cute? Am I supposed to think that it's cute? Blue phone. At least it's not unrequited. I'm supposed to pass on Wanda's regards again to Vision. Red phone. Unrequited crushes are crushing. I'm almost tempted to make them their own super secret communication device so they stop using us as intermediaries for their teenage shenanigans. Blue phone. I don't think either of them should be considered teenagers. Again, Wanda is 23. Red phone. Vision just turned 1 or 20, depending on your perspective. I did create Jarvis in 1996. Blue phone. The year that human Jarvis died? Red phone. How did you figure that out? Blue phone. You said you were 25 when he died, so I did the math. I'm actually pretty good with numbers. Not as good as you, but I do okay. Red phone. Your math is correct. I created the AI as a coping mechanism to deal with a lot of my own problems, and mainly to ensure that a part of my Jarvis lived on. I know you don't want to hear this, but Jarvis was more of a father to me than Howard ever was. Red phone. Although you're probably not ready for me to go on a rant about Howard's lack of parenting skills, let's just say Jarvis exceeded. Blue phone. I realized that the guy I left behind wasn't who you grew up with. You never met my Howard, and I never met yours. But if you need to talk about it, I'm willing to listen. Red phone. Not tonight. That requires the good drugs, and I'm abstaining. But I'm willing to talk about Jarvis. Blue phone. What was he like? Red phone. He was the greatest person in the universe. He was the one who could keep me sane some of the time. Unfortunately, he succumbed to lung cancer when I was 25. Jarvis never spoke, but most of Dad's cronies did, including Obadiah. In hindsight, it gives me another reason to hate Obadiah. Actually, Jarvis's death was the reason why I allowed that man to stay in position after I turned 25. I was too much of a mess to take over at that point. So many drugs. Blue phone. It wasn't your fault that you didn't see who he really was. Red phone. Yes, it was. I hate to admit this, but losing Jarvis was worse than losing Howard or Mom. As brutal as it was to watch via VTC, the accident assassination was quick. One day I was arriving at the house too late after celebrating surviving finals, and the next day I was identifying their bodies. With Jarvis, I watched him die over a 14-month period. Most of it was spent in Peggy's guest room. I watched him waste away, and I couldn't do anything to make it better. I felt so helpless. It was a hard-fought battle, but in the end, he still didn't make it. I think a part of me died when he did. Blue phone. It felt like that when I lost my mom to tuberculosis. Red phone. I'm sure you dealt with it better than I did. Building Jarvis was one of my better coping strategies. The others led to a reason why a Tony Stark gay sex tape actually exists. I made so many bad decisions. Blue phone. There are worse ways to cope with the death of a loved one. Red phone. Like starting a war with the superhero community and making out with the recently deceased grandniece. Blue phone. Didn't you also start the Jarvis Foundation for Cancer Research during this period as well? Red phone. Good subject, Jade. Yes, Jarvis and his wife, Anna, were not able to have any kids. Some robbery that went wrong decades before I was born. I don't know the details, but they treated me as if I was their child. Anna got me the materials to put my first circuit board together, and Jarvis was the one who got Peggy to teach me how to fight back when classmates twice my size used to dump me in the trash for fun. This was just another way for me to make sure they both had a legacy. Blue phone. You were bullied in school? Red phone. I finished high school by 14. That means I was always the smallest kid in class, and also the smartest. They either all hated me because I really was better than them, or pretended to be my friend to use me. I preferred the ones who just shoved me in a locker because at least I knew where I really stood. Blue phone. I'm sorry. Red phone. It actually got better once I was at boarding school because there almost everybody was like me. Blue phone. Wealthy? Red phone. Geniuses. It was a smart kid school, not a rich kid school. I was one of the few people there not on scholarship. But before then, Jarvis was like the only one who really had my back. Anna too, before she died right before the boarding school relocation happened. Blue phone. I won't say sorry again because you don't want me to. Although now I know why Piggy was best friends with him. Red phone. Of course they were, because Jarvis was awesome like that.
Friday. Please listen to the song I Just Want You to Know by the Backstreet Boys to understand the sentiment behind the words that I am not allowed to forward to you.
Blue phone. Could you just tell me what Tony doesn't want me to know?
Friday. I am not allowed to. Happy listening.